Stefon Diggs collapses after Cardi B's heartbreaking miscarriage, a story of love, pain, and strength. The sun was barely breaking over Los Angeles that morning when everything changed for Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. What was supposed to be one of the happiest chapters of their lives quickly turned into one of the most devastating. They had been preparing for months. Cardi was radiant, glowing with anticipation as she carried their unborn child. They had already shared quiet baby names whispered between kisses, plans for nurseries filled with warmth and laughter, and the promise that this baby would complete their love story. But fate had other plans. Broken heart the moment everything shattered. It started like any other morning. Stefon was getting ready for practice while Cardi rested in bed. She had been feeling slight discomfort the night before but brushed it off as fatigue. "I'm fine, baby," she told him with a smile, holding his hand. Just the usual pregnancy stuff. But hours later, a frantic call shattered the calm. Cardi had been rushed to the hospital after collapsing at home. When Stefon arrived, his heart nearly stopped. Seeing her pale and trembling, connected to machines and doctors moving urgently around her, broke something deep inside him. Cardi was crying silently, whispering, "The baby. Stefon, I lost the baby." He froze. For the first time in his life, Stefon Diggs, the confident athlete, the man known for his composure under pressure, fell to his knees beside the hospital bed. His hands trembled as he touched her cheek. "No, no, baby, please don't say that. Please don't." Bouquet silence in the hospital room. Hours passed in a haze of grief. The world outside kept spinning, but for them, time stood still. The laughter that once filled their home now felt like a distant echo. Cardi sobbed quietly, her hand resting on her stomach, whispering prayers and regrets. "Was it my fault?" she cried. "Did I do something wrong?" Stefon pulled her close, tears streaming down his face. "Don't you ever say that," he said hoarsely. "It wasn't your fault. God just. He wanted our angel back." Even the doctors couldn't hold back emotion as they left the couple alone to grieve. Stefon stayed beside her bed the entire night, holding her, praying, refusing to let go. Dove the world finds out. News spread quickly. Fans who had just been celebrating the couple's pregnancy announcement days earlier were now sending waves of condolences. Social media was flooded with #StayStrongCardi and #PrayForStef posts. But neither of them cared about public attention, not this time. Stefon shut off his phone, cancelled all media appearances, and disappeared from the public eye. Cardi deleted her upcoming shows and remained in isolation. For weeks, their mansion in Los Angeles stayed quiet. No music, no laughter, no movement. Only the sound of rain against the windows and the occasional sob from the master bedroom. Broken heart Stefon's collapse. Stefon tried to be strong for her, but the weight of the tragedy was too much. One night, he was found by his brother sitting alone on the floor of the nursery, the one he had painted himself, staring blankly at the unfinished crib. He had collapsed emotionally, his body shaking as he whispered, "She's gone, our baby's gone." His teammates reached out, offering support, but Stefon refused to speak. The man known for his drive and strength suddenly couldn't find the will to get out of bed. Cardi, despite her own pain, became his anchor. She walked into the nursery, sat beside him, and placed his head on her lap. "We lost something precious," she whispered through tears, "but we still have each other." Cloud with rain the healing. Weeks turned into months. Therapy sessions, prayers, and long silent nights helped them slowly piece themselves back together. Cardi began journaling about the loss, pouring her emotions into words. Stefon returned to the gym, not for fame or fans, but for healing. One day, he surprised her with a small locket. Inside was a photo of an ultrasound and a note that read, "Forever our angel. I'll play every game for you." That gesture broke her. Not in pain this time, but in gratitude. She hugged him tightly and whispered, "Our baby will always know love." Dizzy moving forward, not forgetting. Months later, Cardi made her first public post since the tragedy. To all the mothers who felt this pain, I see you. I'm healing, but I'll never forget. Our angel gave us strength we didn't know we had. Broken Heart Dove # forever in our hearts. Stefan commented beneath it simply. You'll always be my everything. Though they may never fully recover from the heartbreak, they found solace in one another, proving that even in the deepest pain, love can still light the way forward. Rose, a love that survived the storm. Their story became a symbol, not of celebrity tragedy, but of resilience. Of two people who refused to let heartbreak destroy their bond. Cardi and Stefan learned that true love isn't only about sharing joy, it's about holding each other through the worst storms. And somewhere in the quiet moments of night, they still whisper to the little angel they lost, a love that will never fade, and a reminder that even through tears, they remain unbreakable. Title: Stefan Diggs collapses after Cardi B's heartbreaking miscarriage. Broken Heart, a fictional story. The atmosphere inside the luxurious Atlanta mansion that Stefan Diggs and Cardi B shared was eerily silent. Days ago, the walls echoed with laughter, music, and dreams of a new beginning, a child they had both prayed for. But now, silence had taken over. Cardi sat on the edge of the bed, eyes swollen and distant. Her once vibrant aura dimmed, replaced by a haunting stillness that no one could reach. Stefan, who had been her anchor throughout her pregnancy, stood at the doorway, his face pale, his chest rising and falling in shallow breaths. It had been just 48 hours since the devastating news, the miscarriage. A joy turned to tragedy. Only a few weeks earlier, Cardi and Stefan had been glowing. The pregnancy had brought a wave of excitement not only for them but for fans across the world. They'd shared subtle hints on social media, a hand resting on her belly during a photo shoot, his caption, "Our miracle loading." Behind closed doors, Stefan had been planning a small celebration with their families, including Cardi's sister Hennessy and Stefan's brother Trayvon. They had already picked out baby names, painted the nursery, and even ordered a tiny Buffalo Bills onesie. But everything changed in one night. Cardi had woken up in pain, trembling and crying. Stefan rushed her to the hospital, driving through red lights, his hands shaking on the steering wheel. The silence in the doctor's office afterward broke him. The words, "We're sorry," still echoed in his head like a cruel replay. Stefan's collapse. After the miscarriage, Stefan tried to stay strong for Cardi, but the weight of the tragedy was unbearable. On the third night, while sitting alone in the living room surrounded by ultrasound photos, he collapsed to his knees, clutching his chest. Tears streamed down his face as he whispered, "Why her? Why us?" He replayed every memory, the first time Cardi told him she was pregnant, the way her eyes lit up, the way he promised to protect them both. "I failed them," he muttered repeatedly, trembling uncontrollably. Their assistant, worried after hearing a loud crash, ran into the room to find Stefan on the floor, unresponsive. Paramedics were called immediately. They later revealed it was emotional exhaustion combined with panic and dehydration, his body simply gave in to grief. Cardi's emotional breakdown. When Cardi heard what happened, she broke down even more. She rushed to his hospital bedside, crying uncontrollably as she held his hand. "Please, baby, wake up, don't do this to me. I can't lose you too," she sobbed, her voice cracking. When Stefan opened his eyes and saw her tears, he began crying too. "I couldn't handle it, Cardi. I thought I could be strong for you, but I failed." She shook her head, pressing her forehead against his. "You didn't fail me. We both lost something, someone. But we'll get through this together." That night, their hospital room became a place of shared grief and fragile hope. Family and friends rallied around them. When news of the tragedy spread, messages of support poured in from fans and fellow celebrities. Rihanna reached out privately, telling Cardi to let herself heal slowly. Beyoncé sent flowers. Even Offset, Cardi's ex, texted her, offering condolences. Stefan's teammates also showed up for him. Josh Allen, his quarterback, flew to Atlanta just to sit by his side for a few hours. "You're not alone, bro," Josh said quietly. "Take your time. Family first." Cardi's sister Hennessy refused to leave her side, cooking for her, reminding her to eat, and trying to make her laugh, even if just for a second. A silent tribute. A week later, Stefan and Cardi decided to hold a private candlelight memorial at their home. They lit a single white candle and placed it beside a framed ultrasound image. Cardi whispered, "You'll always be our angel." Stefan stood behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. Though his heart was shattered, he found strength in that quiet moment, the strength to honor their child's short but meaningful existence. As the candle flickered, tears rolled down their cheeks. They didn't speak much. They didn't need to. Healing slowly. Weeks passed, and though life didn't feel the same, they began taking small steps toward healing. Stefan started therapy to process his emotions. Cardi returned to the studio, not to make a hit song but to pour out her pain in music. One day, she posted a note on Instagram that read, "Pain changes you. But love heals you slowly. To every woman who's been through this, you are not alone." Fans flooded her comments with love and empathy. Stefan shared his own message days later. "You were too perfect for this world. Daddy loves you forever." He accompanied it with a photo of the candle they lit together. A bond unbreakable. As months went by, their relationship grew even stronger. The pain never fully disappeared, but they learned to live with it, hand in hand. Stefan often told Cardi, "We'll get our miracle one day." And she'd reply softly, "Yes, baby. One day." In their mansion, the candle remained on the same table, never extinguished, always glowing. A reminder of their love, loss, and the strength they found in each other.
쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼 하늘을 날며 어느새 제주 바다가 내게로 와 있네. 있어. 아래엔 간혹 도시가 보이곤 해. 그 도시에는 또 다른 내가 하늘에 떠가는 비행기를 올려다보고 있겠지. 난 하늘을 보고 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿한 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주행 비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼